Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Live with Rob. Tonight, we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. You know, we've hit on some prepping stuff and we've hit on some firearm stuff. Tonight, we're going to talk about who is Wheaton Arms and what we do. So, give you guys, a lot of you, I'm sure, are familiar with Wheaton Arms and our Glock parts and accessories. That's a part of our business. And a lot of people are very familiar with that because of things that I do with Such. But I want to expand a little bit on Wheaton Arms and exactly who we are and what we do, because the parts and accessories that we sell are really just a small part of our business. Um, we actually have a custom shop at Wheaton Arms that is really broad compared to the narrow focus that you see with our parts and accessories. We're going to talk a lot about that tonight, different firearms and stuff that we work on, and give you guys a lot more information really about who Wheaton Arms is. One thing that I would ask you tonight is, if you're watching this video, to make sure that you click that subscribe button below. Subscribing to our channel really helps us with the YouTube algorithm and helps us to reach more viewers. The more people we have that are subscribed, the higher we are in YouTube's algorithm, and they post our videos ahead of others. So by you subscribing to our videos tonight will really help us to reach other people. Let's kind of dig into a little bit of who Wheaton Arms is and what we do. One of our first founding principles that we built the business on was customer service. One of the biggest things, one of the biggest complaints that I heard from people over the years in retail industry and in manufacturing as well, was how poor customer service was. You know, I hear over and over again, I call, I can't get anybody on the phone. Nobody ever answers the phone. I get an automated voice service. One of the founding principles that we had with Wheaton Arms was, if you call us, somebody's going to answer the phone. And if you get our voicemail, somebody's going to call you back and help you with whatever it is that you're having an issue with, whether it's a firearm that you need repaired, some custom work you want to have done, parts and accessories that you have questions about, installation procedures, all of that. We wanted to have customer service that was above and beyond anything that you could get from any other company in our industry. So that was what we really built our founding principle on with our business, was our customer service. And then to go along with that, we started with our custom shop, and that was back in 2006. Our custom shop was originally designed and built for building custom firearms for guys that shot competitively. And we built 1911s, 2011s, Glocks, CZs, Benelli shotguns, AR-15s. And that was really kind of our bread and butter for a long time with Wheaton Arms, was just building firearms for competitive shooters. And any of you that know anything about competitive shooting, it's a lot like your defensive firearm. Competitive shooters they require that their firearms are 100% reliable. They have to work. If you're shooting at the top levels of competition and your firearm takes a dump on you, you're not going to win. You absolutely will not win. So you have to have a firearm that is 100% reliable. And that was one of the things that really helped to build our business very quickly, was the fact that guys that were using our guns always worked in competition. They were very reliable. And we built our business and our brand on that and our customer service. And over the years, we expanded our business and moved into manufacturing and building a lot of different parts and accessories for different firearms, for the AR-15s, for the Glocks, for SIGs, the P320 series and 365s and the X5s. And, that was still a big part of our focus with the business, was our parts and accessories, but we never lost sight of who we were. And that was a custom shop. And tonight, that's something that I really want to talk about with you guys, is our custom shop and the things that we do, and maybe a lot of things that we do and services that we offer that our customers, our viewers aren't maybe aware of because we don't highlight those items on our website a whole lot anymore, which is something that we're going to be improving on. We're going to update a lot of our services that we offer on our website to make it easier for you guys to just go in there and click a button and say, oh, that's what I need right there. And help with shipping, with sending your firearm to us, easy ways to do that. We're going to be offering shipping labels, especially for handguns and long guns, with FedEx and UPS being so up in the air about what they allow their customers to ship now. We're going to start sending out shipping labels for handguns and for long guns. That way it's coming from a manufacturer or an FFL, and then it's returning from an FFL back to the individual. We can do that in-house, and there's no issue whatsoever with that. So that's going to be a service we're going to start offering as well to make things a lot easier for our customers. Sorry, I'm scrolling through my notes over here to just kind of make sure that I cover everything, and I don't want to leave things out. Like I was talking about, one of the big things is with our business, we had and we have a very loyal customer base, simply because of our customer service that we offer, and then the quality of the products and the quality of the work that we turn out every week from Wheaton Arms. Um, so let's talk a little bit about some of our custom shop work. Some of the things that you'll see on the website right now, if you go in there and click on custom shop, are our stippling. And if you're not familiar with stippling, stippling is basically recontouring and shaping the plastic grip on pistols, rifles, and shotguns to where it has a more grippy texture, so the firearm doesn't slide around in your hand while you're shooting it. And there's some different reasons to do that. Definitely you want to have the aesthetic appeal to it. You want it to look really good. There's a lot of stippling patterns that are out there. A lot of guys do stippling on their guns at home. That is very effective, but it's not aesthetically pleasing. So we try and have a blend of both, something that is very effective at helping you to continue maintaining your grip on your pistol, but then also to be very aesthetically pleasing as well. And there's examples of some of our work on our website as well. When you click on stippling, you can scroll through and look at some examples of our work. Another thing that we offer that we do a lot of is optic cuts. And a lot of you aren't familiar that or even aware that Wheaton Arms offers optic cuts. But that's a huge part of our business right now, is doing optic cuts on slides for guys and girls. You've got a pistol at home. The economy, we'll all agree, right? The economy is crap right now. And a lot of people have pistols that they've bought and have owned for several years. They don't want to go out and buy another gun. They want to take the pistol that they have that they're used to and send that slide off and have that slide milled and an optic mounted on it. And that's a big service that we offer. Not only with milling the slide, but what we do is we have you send your optic with your slide when you ship it into us. We mill the slide, we install the optic, we fit the screws. If the screws are too long, we trim the screws so everything fits like it's supposed to. We refinish the slide, we install the sights, either your sights that you have on your pistol, or we'll install suppressor height sights on it for a lower 1/3 co-witness. Box it up, bore sight it, ship it back to you ready to install on your pistol and go back to the range and shoot. And it's above and beyond what you'll get from anybody else, but that's just who we are. That's what Wheaton Arms does. We try and go above and beyond what you expect with any of the work that we do. Another thing that we offer is a lot of work on Remington 700s, from bolt handle threading for the oversized tactical bolt knobs, barrel threading, recrowning, accuracy packages, reliability packages, rebarreling, stock work. A lot of work that we do on the Remington 700 rifles. And you can start with a bare receiver and bolt, or just a bare receiver, and we can build your rifle from there, or we can upgrade and customize anything that you already own. Then there's links on the website already for some of those options. More are going to be added. Barrel threading is another big one that we offer, and we'll thread barrels on pretty much any firearm with the exception of lever guns and AKs. Those are some of your MP5s that the barrels are pressed into a trunnion. We don't do those, but the majority of your firearms that are out there, Wheaton Arms can thread the barrel on it, so you can install a suppressor or muzzle brake or any type of muzzle device that you want. And we're going to have a really updated section in the website on barrel threading. There's kind of a bare bones area in there for it now. We're going to really dig into that and expand on to make it easy for the customer to go in there and look and see what we offer as far as barrel threading, what firearms we can thread, shipping procedures for it, and then return shipping to the customer as well. NFA engraving is another option that we offer. A lot of you guys are big Form 1 builders. You know, you want to build your own stuff. You build your own suppressors, you build your own SBRs, SBSs. Once you build those firearms, they have to be engraved with your name, city, and state, with you being the manufacturer of that item. And we offer a service where we'll engrave your NFA item that you've registered and then ship it back to you. So it's a very easy, straightforward procedure as far as doing that. All you have to do is send a copy of your tax stamp, your approved Form 1, along with the item that you want to have engraved, and then we can engrave it and ship it back to you. It's a very easy procedure. Another service that we offer that a lot of guys aren't familiar with is pinning and welding. You know, there's a lot of guys do AR-15s. You want to put a 14.5-inch barrel on your AR-15, but you don't want to have to register it on a Form 1. So the barrel, you have to put a muzzle device on it. That muzzle device has to be pinned and welded to make it 16 inches. So it's legal or under the NFA and federal firearms crap, all that. So what we do is, you know, we can provide the muzzle brake, or you can, either one, it's up to you. But we'll remove whatever muzzle device you have on your rifle. We'll install the new muzzle device, time it where it's supposed to be, and then pin and weld it where it's permanently attached to your barrel. And then that way you're at a legal 16 inches. We can also do that on shotguns. If you have a shotgun that is under 18 inches and you want to attach a muzzle device, permanently attach a muzzle device on it, we can permanently attach muzzle devices on your shotgun to bring it to a legal 18 inches as well. Some of these items are on the website already. Some of these are going to be items that we're adding to the website in the next week or so. So let's talk about some of our custom firearms work that we do. One of the first that I want to touch on is something that's been our bread and butter here for a long time. It's something that I cut my teeth on, you know, almost 30 years ago when I first started competitive shooting. And it's a firearm that is very near and dear to my heart. It's something that a firearm that I wanted from the time that I was probably 4 or 5 years old up until I was old enough to buy one. And first time I ever shot one, I absolutely fell in love with it. And I was like, this is probably the best firearm ever designed as far as the ergonomics, the grip angle, and things like that. There's some internal stuff that, you know, that's been upgraded with it over the years, but overall, you know, it's a firearm that was designed back in 1911, if that gives you guys a clue, and has been improved upon for the last 120-ish years to make it what it is today. And that is the original 1911. And then also the upgraded wide body 2011s, which, you know, you're familiar with from companies like Infinity, STI, Staccato, Springfield Armory with their Prodigies now, SPS out of Spain. Gerson is a new entry into the 2011 market. There's a lot of companies that are releasing 2011s now, and some of them work really well. Some of them are need work, to say the least. But that was, you know, it was and has been our bread and butter as far as our custom shop for a long time, is our 2011 work. Some of the things that we offer for 2011s and 1911s are accuracy and reliability packages, competition tuning, which is a big one. You know, guys that are shooting competition, they want a firearm that is as accurate, 100% reliable, soft and flat. You know, we minimize the recoil and muzzle flip as much as we possibly can with some things that we do with the firearm. Um, but those are, it's interesting, the things that we do to a firearm for on the competition side, in a lot of cases, are direct crossovers to guys that carry pistols as well. So, you know, you want a firearm, you got a carry gun. That carry gun has to be 100% reliable. It has to be accurate. It has to have a great trigger on it. It has to do everything that you want it to do as fast as it can possibly do. And those are the same things that competitive shooters want. So the work that we do to 1911s and 2011s, there's a lot of crossovers there from competition to the carry world. And we focus a lot on both of those, making sure that the customer gets the absolute best possible firearm that they can get when it comes out of our shop. And, you know, whether that's something that we build from a frame and a slide to a complete firearm, or someone ships us their Springfield Prodigy, for example, and says, hey, my gun is a big fat turd right now, and I want you to take it and make it what it should have been from the factory. And we can do that. Other things that we offer is with 1911s, rebarreling, fitting new barrels to your pistol, and that's bull barrels and bushing barrels, custom guide rods, trigger jobs on the 1911s and 2011s. We can do a trigger job on your pistol from 1.5 pounds and up, whatever. And it's really based on your experience level and what you're used to shooting as far as what we recommend for a trigger pull weight. You know, somebody that shoots USPSA or 3-gun at a really high level, they're probably going to want 1.5 pounds trigger pull on their pistol. Where a guy that, or girl that goes to the range and shoots once a month, 50 or 100 rounds a month out of their pistol, probably a 3.5 pound trigger pull is going to be really, really nice for them, but they're not going to be able to take advantage of something that's lighter than that. So we really try and gear our trigger jobs toward the individual and their experience level as far as what we recommend when we're doing a trigger job on a pistol. 1911s, we do general repair, maintenance, and refinishing on them as well. So if you've got a old 1911 that you inherited from your grandparents that had some rust on it, you want to have it refinished, we can restore and refinish that pistol and get it back to like it was as a as-new firearm. Magazine tuning is a big thing that we do, especially for the 2011 guys, not so much on the 1911 side. But the 2011 guys, you know, there's a lot of 2011 magazines out there, and some of them work really well, and some of them are disappointing, to say the least. And it's a service that we've offered for 20-something years now, tuning 2011 magazines. We've got spring kits for those magazines. We offer springs and followers that really help to smooth the internal function out of the magazine. And then also, if you have a magazine that's out of spec, we can square the magazine body, reshape the feed lips, and set the magazine up to where it works like it's supposed to. But that's another service that we offer for those firearms. The 2011s, we also do stippling on the grips. We've got a few different stippling patterns that we offer on those. Excuse me. But we do some stippling patterns on those, and to really help improve the way the firearm fits and feels in your hand, as well as undercutting the trigger guard and reshaping the grip to give you the best possible feel for your hand. Another big thing that we do is optic cuts, slide lightning, slide cuts, and slide fitting. A lot of you guys have 2011s or 1911s and you want to put an optic on it. We do optic cuts on all of those firearms. We lighten the slides on them and set the weight of the slide based on the caliber and the muzzle velocity that you're going to be using in that pistol. And then slide fitting, if you've got a frame and you want to put a new slide on it, so you've cracked a slide or whatever, we can machine the slide, machine the frame, and fit a new slide to your frame. And that's kind of a, kind of touching off on some of the 1911 and 2011 stuff that we do. Let's jump over and look at some comments from tonight, and then we'll jump back into our next topic, which is going to be CZ75s and their variants. A lot of people jumping in saying hello, good evening. It's great to have all of you guys here. Don Filkins, I don't recognize you. You might be a new guy on here tonight. It's great to have you. Semper Gumby says, I remember that shop. Dalen started out there as well. Guardian holsters were born as well. That's with our original custom shop that we had, we really helped a lot of local guys get started with their businesses. Dalen Kramer with Laser Work, we helped him get started with his business, and Semper Gumby with Guardian Holsters helped him get started with his holster business, as well as several others. Skinny Medic, if you guys are familiar with him, we helped him out a lot growing his business. And we really have tried over the years to really help other people with their businesses and help them grow and help them get started and mentor other people with their businesses, and try and give good advice to them. And it's life is not all about making money. We have to make money to survive, because none of us are independently wealthy. We didn't get that 401k investment from our parents, where they're like, oh, here you go, here's you a check for the rest of your life so you don't have to work or anything. None of us have had that. Not born with a silver spoon in our mouth. We all have to work for a living. But I've always been someone that really loves to help other people and see them be successful. And that's something that I've really tried to do with friends and people that I've met throughout the years, that I've just really grown attached to, and try and help them to get their businesses growing and off the ground and doing well. And it's great to see, looking back, 15, 20 years later, a lot of these companies that I helped really early on are very successful now. It's that's just God's blessing pouring out to other people, for sure. And John Richardson says, hello from Maine. John, it's good to have you on tonight. He says, I heard a rumor you're going to have a special guest next week. John, you are correct. We will be having a special guest next week. And I'm not going to elaborate on that further. We're going to keep that one a secret until next week, and surprise you guys with that. But we will be having a special guest on next week, so I'm looking forward to that. Robert Picard Jr. says, hello, Mr. Wheaton. I just ordered the 20-inch upper we discussed, a 375 Ruger, and a buttload of ammo from PSA. Robert, that's awesome, bud. I'm glad you were able to get some of that stuff. George Boone, hello from Georgia. Hey, bud, it's good to have you on tonight. Mr. Van Dyke, hey, Robbie. Hey, how are you? George, just bought a PSA Dagger full-size frame. Now I need a slide and maybe one of your barrels, and definitely one of your triggers. Also ordered the Holosun 407C green dot for it. Michael, that's a great choice. That the 407C green dot is one of the green dot, or the red dot. Really just depends on your eyes. I tell guys all the time, if you've got astigmatism, try and go with the green dot instead of the red dot, because a lot of times the red dot looks really funky if you've got astigmatism. If you don't, go with the red dot. And the reason that I say that, especially being in the South here, in the summertime, everything is green. And your green dot can have a tendency to wash out on a green background. So if you don't have astigmatism, I recommend a red dot in the South. If you don't live in the South and you live in one of the dusty states, the green or red work really well. But here in the South, I really like the red, unless you have astigmatism. Mr. Van Dyke says, question, do you think suppressors are worth the trouble and cost? I absolutely think suppressors are worth the trouble and the cost. I've got a couple, at least. I myself and my boys, we really try not to shoot a whole lot without something being suppressed anymore, especially on long guns. If we're shooting 22s or AR-15s or precision rifles, our hunting rifles, all of them have suppressors on them. Just because, for me, from shooting I started shooting when I was really young, and shot all through my teenage years. The Marine Corps, tons of shooting when I was in the Marine Corps. After I got out of the Marine Corps, several decades of competitive shooting. And, I've got a pretty significant hearing loss at this point. I'll be, the opposite side of 50 this year. And, I know I don't look at all of y'all like, man, he looks like he's like 30 years old, but no, I'll be on the other side of 50 this year. But from all of that, years and years of cumulative damage to my hearing from shooting, I've got some pretty significant hearing loss. And anything that I can do with my boys or with anyone else that I'm shooting with now, yeah, I really, really recommend putting a suppressor on your rifle. Handguns, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't think they do a great job at reducing recoil and muzzle rise, but they're so big on a pistol that to me, a handgun suppressor is just not a practical application. They're fun to shoot and everything, but long guns to me are really, really where a suppressor shines. With the exception of 22 pistols. I do like a suppressor on the 22 pistol. But yeah, I really encourage anyone, if you're considering getting a suppressor and you're kind of on the fence about it, go ahead and make the leap. Go ahead and get a suppressor. One of the big things I tell guys and girls is don't just buy one when you buy a suppressor. It takes a long time to get your tax stamp back because the federal government is extremely slow at doing anything for the citizens of this country except taking your money. Okay. When you buy a suppressor, buy two. Get one for a centerfire rifle, preferably a 30 caliber, and that way you can use it on a multitude of different calibers, and get a 22 suppressor. I know it's a lot of money, and you're like, that's another $300 or $400 for the suppressor and another $200 for a tax stamp to get that second suppressor. But I'm telling you, the 22 suppressor you will use more than anything else. And then the rifle suppressor is going to really help save your hearing over the long term. So yes, I'm a huge fan of suppressors and highly, highly recommend them. If you're in a state that you can legally own one, definitely grab one. Mr. River says, and on that vein, would you suggest a suppressor for in-home defense, since a few of us have hearing protection next to our pistol on the nightstand? It's an option for sure. If you're going to be using a long gun indoors for personal defense, yes, I absolutely recommend a suppressor on that long gun. If you've never shot a centerfire rifle in an enclosed environment, the overpressure from that back blast from the muzzle brake, or even without a muzzle brake, just a flash hider on a rifle, is enough to disorient you the first time that you do it. Okay. I highly, highly recommend, if you are defending your home with a long gun, shoot your long gun inside an enclosed area so you can actually see what it feels like with the overpressure, the blast from the muzzle, what it feels like in an enclosed area before you decide to commit to using that long gun for home defense. The long guns in our house all have suppressors on them for that very reason. It's not that I'm trying to hide the sound of my rifle or anything like that. It's so I'm not disoriented by the muzzle flash, by the overpressure, by the blast from the rifle. I want to be able to stay on the gun, stay on the sights, and be as effective as possible if I'm using that long gun in an enclosed space. Chuckles 470 says, Glock 23 Gen 3, upgrade guide rod or leave alone? Many people say change to 9mm. Chuckles, I would definitely recommend upgrading the guide rod from your plastic guide rod that you have. We've got a great selection of guide rods on our website for the 23s. And and they come with a 17-pound recoil spring on a stainless steel guide rod. It's a captured assembly and works really, really well. Whether you get one of those from us or from somebody else, I do recommend going to the one-piece stainless steel guide rods and the captured spring assembly. So check that out if you get a minute. Mr. Boone says, I was told the green dot would be easier to pick up in bright light situations. So wish I would have just gone with the red dot now. The green dot is easy to pick up, but here's the thing. 20 years ago, I would have probably agreed with you that the green dot may be easier for you to pick up. But with the improvements in the electronics and the circuitry in all of your commercially available red dots today, it doesn't matter if it's red or green outside in the bright sunlight, they're all very easy to see. Most of your red dots now have circuitry that automatically brighten or dim the dot down depending on the situation that you're in, as well as having manual settings where you can manually adjust the brightness of the red dot. But everything that's available out there on the market today, I won't say everything, all of your really quality stuff that's available today is going to be very visible in bright light situations. So definitely don't let that be a concern when you're shopping for a red dot. Now, James Sino says, I recently bought a new Springfield Armory high power, and while it is still new, I'd like to have the frame and slide redone with a high polish so that it would look similar to the old 1911 Browning high power pistols. So I'm guessing that you're wanting to have like a really high polish blued finish done on that firearm. There are some companies out there that offer that. The really high polished bluing is not something that we offer at Wheaton Arms. One company that I would recommend you looking at is Almonds, AHLMANS refinishing. They're out of Minnesota somewhere. But I've had those guys do bluing work for me for years, and they do an outstanding job. And here's the thing, guys, if it's something that I don't do in-house, if it's not a service that I offer, I don't mind sharing with you the companies that I use that do work for me. I've used a lot of different companies over the years, and some of them I've had great results with, and some of them have been less than stellar. And I don't mind sharing the companies that I do business with myself personally, because I've got number one, I've had great experience with them, and I've had experience with them and seen the quality of the work that they do. And I don't mind sharing that with you guys, so y'all don't have to go through the same headaches that I've had to go through with trying to find really good suppliers to do work for you. But check out Almonds Refinishing, and they'll do a tremendous job for you. Let's jump back over here into some of the work that our custom shop at Wheaton Arms offers. CZ75s and their variants is it's a big category of firearms, whether it's Tanfolios or the CZs, the Shadow 2s. We work on all of them. Everything from optic cuts to trigger work, reliability packages, setting the firearms up for defensive use, setting the firearms up for carry use, and just making sure that they are 100% reliable, as soft recoiling, and reducing the muzzle flip and everything as much as possible on these firearms. And there's a lot of internal work that we can do to these firearms that will make them a lot better. Any of you that reload know that the CZ75s have a really short chamber. So if you're trying to use 124s or 147s and load them out just a little bit long, they won't chamber in your gun. You have to load them really short to make them work. A shorter case spikes the pressure, which causes more recoil. One of the things we offer is we lengthen the lead in the throat, which basically means that we paper cut the rifling in the barrel to allow the projectile to load out longer in the case. This helps to reduce chamber pressure, it helps to reduce recoil in the pistol, and helps to improve the accuracy, because we true everything from the chamber moving forward into the rifling to give you a much more accurate barrel out of your pistol, as well as giving you a bigger variety of projectiles that you can use in it. It's one of the things that we've done for decades that a lot of guys just don't even know about, don't even realize that is a option or a possibility. That's something that we can offer on almost any pistol, or PCC carbine for that matter. If you're wanting to load different projectiles, load stuff long, and help to reduce recoil and muzzle rise. Trigger jobs are one of the big things we offer on the CZ series of pistols. Our average double action trigger pull is around 5 pounds once we get done reworking everything on a CZ. And if, just to give you an example, the double action pull is between 12 and 14 and a half pounds from the factory. We cut that down to about 5 pounds on the double action. Single action generally runs around a pound or so, and the reset when we get finished is about what you'd have with a 1911 or a 2011. Extremely short reset. Reliability work, competition tuning, optics cuts, slide lightning, recoil springs, to help tune the gun, as well as like I was talking about with the reliability packages and the competition work that we do to them, competition tuning. All of that is touching the little things that no one else even really understands what to do with. Some things I really don't want to go into too much detail about, because if I do, just going to be honest, there's other companies out there that will steal what we're doing. So we just leave it at competition tuning, and when you get the firearm back, you'll see the difference and feel the difference. SIG P320s, the X5s and 365s, trigger jobs, reliability work, competition tuning, optics cuts, lightning slides, refinishing, stippling the grips, and we have our new trigger assemblies that are coming soon as well. Just some of the things we offer on the SIG P320s. Glocks, obviously, a lot of you guys are very familiar with the Glock stuff that we do, but with the parts that we sell, but also internally in-house, we do trigger jobs in-house, the reliability work, competition tuning, optics cuts, slide lightning, refinishing, as well as our parts and accessories that we sell for the Glocks. And some of the things that I'm sure a lot of you aren't familiar with are the bolt action rifle work that we do. We work on most bolt action as well as semi-automatic rifles to improve accuracy, reliability, handling. There's a ton of guys, and I get phone calls all the time. Hey, I've got this Remington 700 or Winchester Model 70 bolt action that I've had for the last 25, 35 years, and it's been a great rifle. Always been extremely accurate. And this year I went out to the range to sight my rifle in before hunting season, and I can't shoot a 6-inch group with my rifle. What happened to it? And we can fix that. There's a few different things that it can be. Little things like maybe you've got a wood stock on the rifle and your wood stock's warped, and the stock's binding on the barrel now, causing inconsistent harmonics with the barrel, which causes the bullet to exit at a different point when it leaves the muzzle. That can play a huge part in accuracy. Little things like maybe you ding the crown on the barrel, and it's got a little dent on the crown now, and that's causing an accuracy issue. We can fix all of those things, as well as taking that rifle and rebarreling it, fitting a new barrel to it. But so those are some of the things that we do with bolt action rifles. Trigger jobs, action truing, rebarreling, accuracy and reliability work, stock inletting, refinishing, parkerizing, and Cerakote refinishing. All of those are things that we offer through our custom shop at Wheaton Arms. So if you've got a bolt action or a semi-automatic rifle that you need some work done to, guys, you can reach out to us and we can take care of it for you. Another thing that we work on is your AR-15s and AR-10s. And a lot of people out there work on those themselves. They are, I always refer to them as Lincoln logs for adults. They're just snap and click, put the parts together, take it out the range, and 80% of the time it works. About 20% of the time it goes click or it goes bang, and then it doesn't extract or doesn't eject. Well, if you've built an AR and it doesn't run, we can fix it for you. Or if you want an AR put together the right way, we can take our almost 30 years of experience and build your rifle for you and touch on all of the things that a lot of guys don't understand what they need to be working on. and just make it the best that it can possibly be. As well as little things like upper assembly for you, lower assemblies, trigger jobs, trigger replacement, handguard swaps, rebarreling, installing different muzzle devices, pinning and welding different muzzle devices on your rifles. Those are all different things that we can do for you here at Wheaton Arms. Let's jump over. We're going to look at a few more comments and questions and stuff, and then we'll go from there. Mr. Boone says, do you know of anyone who makes slides that fits the dagger besides PSA? Pretty much any aftermarket company that builds a slide or manufactures slides or sells slides for the Glock pistol will work on your PSA dagger. So you're not just pigeonholed into the stuff that PSA makes. Now, with that being said, the slides I think that PSA makes and sells are some of the best aftermarket slides on the market for a Glock or a Glock clone. They have the tolerances are right. Everything is right with their slides. If I was going to buy a slide for one of my Glocks today or one of my daggers today, I would probably be buying a PSA slide just because of the quality of everything that I've seen with them. There's some other companies out there that make some good stuff. And then there's some stuff out there that I wouldn't boomerang out the window of my car. But the PSA slides are good stuff. Don't hesitate to buy one of those guys. Gerald Black says, do you do any work on CZP07 triggers? Gerald, the P07 triggers are not one that we're working on right now. That may be one that we add to our list of work that we do later on, but right now we're not doing anything on the P07s. Edgewater Heating says, do you have any Kimber Micro 9s? We don't sell guns. We only do custom work. So if you're looking to buy one, that's not something we'll be able to help you out with. But if you're looking to have custom work done to it, we will be able to help you out with that. Dinks Outdoors says, do you sell flat triggers for the AR platform? Dinks, we do. We normally recommend the CMC triggers. I've been using those for going on 30 years now. Man, that makes me feel old. I've been really good friends with the owners of CMC triggers for a long time. They make an exceptional product, especially for the money. I think they've got one of the best AR triggers on the market, and that is the #1 trigger that I recommend for guys that are building an AR or upgrading their AR that they currently have. I always recommend the CMC trigger. Their flat trigger is one of, if not the best on the market. It's got a great pull, short reset, and lasts forever. It does everything you want a trigger to do in your AR. And we do sell those as well. But if you're interested in one of those, shoot me an email and I can get you some pricing on them. I don't have them listed on the website. Gerald Montanona says, what can you do to a high point? LOL. Nothing. Sorry. We really don't do any work on high points, and I'll tell you guys why. The high point is a very budget-minded pistol, and the majority of them are reliable. They're a very reliable gun, but most guys aren't going to buy $125 or $150 new high point and look to have any kind of custom work done to it. So that's not a firearm that we work on. With High Point's warranty that they have, if your gun breaks, I always recommend you send the firearm back to High Point to have it repaired, because they will repair it for free, versus sending it to a custom shop like us, not just a armorer or a parts fitter or a gunsmith. We are a custom shop, and it's not going to be cost effective to send a High Point to us to have repairs or different kind of work done to it. John G says, Dave, both Michelle's and my bedside guns are suppressed. We value our hearing. The downside to suppressed for home defense firearms is the neighbors don't hear it to call 911. And John, you are exactly right. But hey, on the plus side, you don't have to worry about waking your neighbors up either. The neighbors are always thankful for people that use suppressors. Chris Matthews says, hey, Robbie, is the SIG P320 trigger you're doing going to change the stock trigger poundage? Any available yet? Chris, yes. Our new trigger assembly is going to allow you to vary your trigger pull weight based on the spring set that you use with it, and the trigger pull kit will come with the trigger. We don't have those available yet. We're wrapping up a couple of little things with them, so we're probably looking at just a few more weeks before they're out on the market. John G says, I'm a very loyal Wheaton Arms customer. John is a great customer of ours as well as a great friend of mine. I'm glad to call John my friend and have someone like that I can include in my my friend list. Preparedness 704 says, what's up, brother? Hey, bud, good to have you on tonight. Mr. Boone says, awesome, thanks for the info. Also enjoyed the video on the CZ Shadow 2. That pistol makes my heart skip a beat. I will have one and it will be Wheatonized. That is an incredible pistol. The Shadow 2s are very, very nice. We're going to have some more of those, some more videos in that series coming up this week, so keep your eyes out for that. Dinks Outdoors says, where can I find your email, brother? You can email me at intel@wheatenarms.com or robbie@wheatenarms.com, and that's ROBBIE. I think maybe both of those are listed on our website, but I know the Intel one is listed on our website, but either one I'll get and see. Gerald Montanona says, has PSA made yet the specialized triggers for the Glock 19 Gen 5? I haven't seen anything from PSA for the 19 Gen 5s. I'll roll back over here, our last little bit. So guys, that's some of the things that that we offer at Wheaton Arms through our custom shop that that just wanted to make you aware of, that maybe you hadn't seen before. One thing tonight, I do want to lift up my red Solo cup in memory of Toby Keith, outstanding country music singer, American, and a patriot that passed away today. So red Solo cup, here's to you, Mr. Keith, and your family. Just want to say we've got all of y'all in our thoughts and our prayers tonight, and it's truly a loss for our country, losing a great American like that. Guys, make sure to tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. for our live Tuesday Night Live with Robbie. And I want to say thank you again to everyone that tuned in tonight. God bless you all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to help us improve our algorithm with YouTube so more people see us. God bless you and have a good night. We'll see you next Tuesday.